Hello and welcome back to CEO.CA's coverage, coming to you live from the conference floor at Mines and Money at Resourcing Tomorrow 2024. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Sean Roosen, founder, chairman, and CEO of Osisko Development Corp. They trade on the venture exchange under the ticker ODV. Sean, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, we also trade on the New York Stock Exchange under ODV as well. So, hey, we're dual listed. Hey, great to be here, and really, conference looks like it's got a lot of buzz to it right now. So, happy to see that. It's been a heck of a year, especially with the U.S. elections and record gold prices.
Yeah,
We've had a really good year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest catalyst that we're going to talk about right now is the permitting that's just been approved. But maybe give us the year in review. What are some of the big milestones been?
Well, I'll start with where we are now. We have just finished raising $92 million US, about 130. So our cash balance is sitting around 140 million Canadian. We just 10 days ago, we received the permit for 4,950 tons a day of underground mining at our flagship Cariboo Gold Project in British Columbia. So we're the most recently permitted mine in North America. This is one of the great undeveloped resources that we're aware of. We filed a feasibility study in 2023 with 2 million ounces of reserves and 3.3 million ounces of measured and indicated and inferred. With significant grades. This is an underground bulk tonnage mine. It's mostly pure gold. It's one of the more significant projects in the market now. And it's going to start off at about 200,000 ounces a year, 220,000 ounces a year with the current permits. And then we're looking for this to be the flagship for many more mines in this camp. About 500,000 acres or about 2,000 square kilometers of mineralites, 50 miles or 53 kilometers of mineralized trend. And what we're focused on right now is about 7% of that trend that we put 800,000 meters of drilling into. But strongly shaping up to be one of the more important projects in the gold space. And from where we sit, we've been to the playoffs before. We have the distinction of having built Canadian Malartic, which is Canada's largest gold mine. It's produced over 700,000 ounces a year. It's ninth largest gold mine in the world right now. So that's the backdrop for us. We've been here before. We know what we're looking at. And we've got most of the risk has been mitigated. We got a little bit of risk management left to go, but we're in full mine construction next year. We're in mine construction preparation now.
Okay, fantastic. And in terms of that pathway through mine construction to eventual production, what do you expect in terms of maybe capital and also timelines?
So our 2023 feasibility study, we outlined about 720 million Canadian, roughly 550 million US dollar capex. We're doing an optimized feasibility study as we speak, and have that out probably Q1, Q2. And we think that where we are, is obviously we're full speed ahead now. We're fully permitted for construction and operating. And that permit was issued by the province of BC. They're very encouraged by the NDP government's reaction. Minister was appointed on Monday, 10 days ago. On Tuesday, they were confirmed, and on Wednesday, he held a press conference and announced our permit. So this is pretty forward-looking, and I think BC's moving up the investable food chain in terms of mining. And obviously, the Canadian dollar has suffered under the current management. So it's a good time to be building mines in Canadian dollars because we're discounted significantly. And we're on BC Hydro, so we're on green power at 6.6 Canadian a kilowatt, or about 4.5 cents US kilowatts, so low cost power and green power. And we have a lot of the risk off the table. We own the milling equipment already, so we have about $50 million worth of milling equipment on site. And there's about $130 million worth of infrastructure that we put in while we're waiting for the permits. And we own a fully functional 1,000 ton a day mill, or about 100 kilometers away. So this project is starting off basically at second base.
And in terms of, you mentioned there's still a little bit of further de-risking to go. Can you paint a picture of what that looks like?
Sure. We're underground now. We're about 1.2 kilometers of underground development at 5.5 by 5.5, which is commercial size mine. We can run 40-ton trucks underground.
Yeah.
So we're in the ore body now. So the de-risking is the bulk sample. We're going to take 10,000 ton bulk sample. The second part of that de-risking will be the reconciliation between what we saw from the surface diamond drilling and our resource and reserve calculation, as opposed to what we get for recovery from the overall bulk sample. So we'll have a recovery number. The other thing we're doing is we're testing the ore sorter, which is a new technology. It significantly reduces the environmental impact of mining. Okay, we're able to reject about 50% of the waste rock with an XRT scanner, which is the same scanner you see at the airport.
Yeah.
We're looking for sulfides in rock. And just like you see your keys in your briefcase when it goes through the X-ray, we can see the sulfides. We select that with a small pneumatic shot of air. And for less than $2 a ton, we increase the grade by about 100%.
And do you think the adoption of that technology, did that in any part play into, you think, the recent speed up of the processing of permits? Because,
These are very environmentally friendly mine.
yeah.
And that was one of our core focuses, was to electrify as much as we could, to use technology to our advantage, and to contain the surface footprint by going underground.
Yeah.
And we are in the first 5,000 ton a day model. We don't have to put any tailings on surface. We're able to take our flotation concentrates out and send that to the smelter. So we remove most of the sulfide. So you don't have to manage that on site. The tailings from the waste dump or from the flotation circuit will go back under down as backfill. All we'll have on surface is kind of like a gravel size sandstone component.
Okay.
Which we may be able to use in aggregate and construction.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool mine.
Okay. And you're looking at a 12-year mine life currently.
It's 12 years, and one of the things that's undergoing the optimization process is the underground drilling. We've got another 3.3 million ounces that's within the footprint of the mine plan.
Yeah.
That through drilling, it's just drilling density. We should be able to bring a good portion of that into the mine plan. We're looking for a conversion rate of somewhere around 60 to 70%.
Okay.
So of that, right now we're 2 million ounces of reserves, what the economics are based on.
Yeah.
So we'd be looking to add somewhere between 1 million and 2 million ounces to that reserve. It's known in there.
Okay.
Probably the most important part of this whole project right now, though, is the at depth addition. Right now we're averaging between 15 and 22,000 ounces per vertical meter.
Okay.
So every 100 meters we've gone down, we've added essentially 1.5 million ounces.
Yeah.
So we stopped drilling at a density level at 350 meters. Well, we have drilled down to over 1,000 meters. So you can do the math. If we extend that down, we have a significant amount of upside within that footprint. Now that's on 4.4 kilometers of strike.
Yeah.
So far we're averaging about 1.2 million ounces per kilometer of strike length. And we've got another 10 kilometers that we know about adjacent to us. You haven't drilled it enough to see what's there, but it's highly prospective. And if the resource continues the same way it is where we are now, we will be seeing significant upside. In my view of this new project is it ends up probably with another 3 to 5 mines in this camp.
Yeah.
And we've set it up like a mining camp, much like we did when we went to Malartic. There was 8 million ounces of historic production there. There's 4 million ounces of historic production there.
Okay.
We looked at it from a bulk tonnage model, whereas historically that mine had been the high-grade underground mine. We're mining at 3.78 grams here. Historically, they mined at 15 to 17 grams.
Yeah.
This is our MO, brownfield specialist. We go in, we look at putting bulk tonnage methods over old high-grade mining camps.
Okay. And I guess in terms of, the recent permitting, often, there's kind of the expectation that a major milestone like that will lead to a re-rate in the stock ultimately and really unlock that upside. I guess walk us through maybe some of the the signals people can look for there in terms of that re-rate coming.
Well, I think that permitting is a major expense in the mining industry, and it's a major risk off. So having that permit and getting people to site, showing the underground, and getting the bulk sample done, we should see the lights come on a revaluation here the next 2 to 6 months. A lot of people are just sort of digesting the news.
Yes.
It's fairly late in the year. But we expect that as we get more into a risk on quarter like Q1, that this project should rise up the ranks significantly in terms of what can be done. We see comparable companies at 200,000 ounce a year when they're at production trading in the 1.5 to 2.5 billion dollar window.
Yeah.
So we're trading around that $300 million market cap right now. So obviously we're not in production. We haven't built it yet. But we do see milestones in terms of getting this project to move up that value chain in a significant way. That's our job, is make sure that investors get a chance to see this thing the right light.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we've been talking mostly about Cariboo today, but you are also advancing another project in Utah. Do you want to give a quick overview of that?
Yeah, before the U.S. election, Utah was the #1 jurisdiction in the world
Yeah.
on mining investment. It's certainly now gone to probably 1+ rating.
Yeah.
We're located in central Utah in an area called Sintic region. So we have Robert Friedland's Ivanhoe Electric to our southwest, Freeport to the south, and Rio Tinto with their mine in Salt Lake City. So what we're doing right now is we underground access the historic gold mines. So there's quite a bit of history to this project. 5 gold mines and 18 CRD mines, or silver lead zinc mines. But what we're looking for there is a Bingham style copper porphyry at depth. So we're starting to drill this deep target here in December. The drill is there. We drilled a couple of the other targets, highly encouraged by what we see. But this would be sort of a Bingham style porphyry that does not come to surface. Bingham being the second largest copper mine in North America, and almost a mile deep, and one of the largest man-made structures in the world.
Yeah.
So that's 40 miles north of us, but we're in exactly the same age rock, exactly the same displacement. And this is a project that was identified by a very famous geologist, Dick Silzo. Was sort of the guru of all things copper porphyry of the world. Wrote the original white paper, and it was in his 80s now. And
Yeah.
we're looking forward to bringing Dick out there to celebrate a discovery if we're right about this. So it could be pretty exciting times. The gold project there is a small resource of about 150,000 ounces that we can access from underground. We're looking at heap leaching that next year. And there's those 5 gold mines that stopped mining at 1,300 feet, or about 350 meters. They were mining for flux for the Bingham smelter by Kennecott. So all those gold mines stopped in mineralization at the water table. Water table subsequently has dropped significantly.
Okay.
So we're going to reactivate the underground exploration in those camps. And we have about 27 kilometers of high-grade mineralization there. The highest grade mine there was called North Lily. It operated at 45 grams a ton. So yeah, it's a very high-grade sort of gold structure that really hasn't seen modern exploration.
Yeah.
The other aspect of that one is the CRD deposits. So it is a CRD camp, which is the source of a lot of silver, lead, zinc mines, especially in western U.S. They were not followed underneath the Ophir Shale, so there's a shale cover. So we're doing exploration on those as well. There's about 2.5 million tons in a PA study there from a Kennecott study done in 2011. So we're following up on that. And then we have a manganese-rich tailings pond that we're processing there. So a pretty exciting place.
Yeah. Certainly a lot of activity.
And certainly, I think in the current market, having a U.S. asset in the top jurisdiction,
Yeah.
Puts us in a different list and makes us more investable Americans. And having a New York Stock Exchange listing, makes this more of a U.S. retail story as well.
Yeah, I guess for potential retail investor, I mean, is there anything maybe that we haven't spoken about today? Anything that they should be keeping in mind when they're differentiating you from some of the other, companies at a similar stage?
Yeah, I always use the analogy. You can bet the jockey or you can bet the horse.
Yeah.
But if you say you're a good jockey and you show up at the Kentucky Derby with a donkey, you may be a good jockey, but you're not a very good selector of horses. If you want to win the Derby, the horse does the work, and we have good projects. But we are a pretty good jockey. We've been successful in the past. We sold Osisko 1 for $4.1 billion. He took Osisko royalties to $5 billion. Osisko Mining 2 went to $2 billion. So we have the experience and the success, and we feel like this is the kind of project that fits the Osisko model. Good historic site, we inherited probably a couple $100 million worth of information,
Yeah.
both in Tintic and in Cariboo. We took our modern science and technology and mining methods and applied them to old brownfield camps. We're on infrastructure. You can drive your Tesla to both these sites. And we're in good jurisdictions in Canada, BC, and Utah. So we've eliminated a lot of the noise that shareholders have to look at, and we're polymetallic. So we have the gold component, copper, gold, as well as the CRD, and for good measure, we have a little bit of tellurium in the gold deposit. We don't know whether it's going to be economic or not, but the Bingham smelter is out of the tellurium circuit, so that's fits into the critical minerals aspect of life. As do the copper and the silver lead zinc for there. So we think that we've got the right assets and the right team to do it.
Yeah.
Certainly, I could be at my cottage doing something else, but I prefer to do this. So I'm here to put my 80, 90 hours a weekend on behalf of shareholders to make this the next big one.
Fantastic. Well, Sean, sounds like there's exciting updates imminent. Congratulations on getting those permits approved recently. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, James, and good luck to all of the investors, and thanks for watching.